Hi, everyone. I'm Leah with Young Lung Cancer Initiative. Today, I am thrilled to introduce you to Twist Out Cancer and its founder, Jenna. Jenna created Twist Out Cancer to give people touched by cancer a place to connect, heal, and express themselves through creativity, art, all different types of storytelling. I've been so inspired by what she's built and their community, and I am participating in some of the things that they offer. So I was hoping that Jenna could just share a little bit about what is Twist Out Cancer and how did it come about?
Yeah. Yeah. So, hi. Thank you so much, Leah, for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So, I started Twist Out Cancer back in 2012, shortly after my own experience with gray zone lymphoma, which is a rare blood cancer. At the time, when I was looking it up, all I could find was a Wikipedia page that had one sentence that said, "This disease has features of Hodgkin's and non Hodgkin's lymphoma." Wasn't super helpful, was very hard to connect with anyone else that had the disease or, was a couple years out from it. And certainly I felt like the youngest person in the room. And, while I was going through treatment, I was just trying to figure out ways to cope with being a young adult with a rare type of cancer without like a clear trajectory. There was no clear plan of treatment or really good understanding of sort of recurrence rates. There was not any data. And in some ways, that could have been very isolating and lonely, which it was, but it
Yes.
also allowed me to, because there was not a lot of information out there, I sort of used that as an opportunity to write my own story. I just felt like, well, if there isn't enough info, then I'm going to sort of figure this out and I'm going to be really outspoken about it and loud. I think because I was very open and honest about my experiences with cancer, I started writing about it, I started speaking about it, and people started sort of following along the blog. And midway through treatment, I decided to put this really weird call to action, partly because I was feeling I was stuck in a hospital for sometimes 5, 6 days at a time for inpatient chemotherapy, and I felt like I was going to jail every couple of weeks and having to just navigate that experience also of just being stuck inside and feeling trapped, and so I decided to put this funny call to action out where I did the Chubby Checkers dance, the twist, and I said, "Who's joining me on the dance floor?" And within a couple days, we had a couple thousand people twisting out cancer. So that's where the name Twist Out Cancer comes from. And, the mission and the work has sort of evolved over time, but really what we focus on is how do we utilize the creative arts as a mechanism for healing? And how do we empower people to come forward with their stories so that they're not there is that sort of desire to retreat and to hide under the covers and to pretend like this isn't happening. And we're all about trying to build community by empowering others to own their experiences because we feel that through sharing those experiences, we not only educate the community, but we also build community, which is so important and so necessary when facing cancer, no matter what the age. So, yeah, that's the story in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, that is pretty amazing. I can understand how isolating it is when you get that diagnosis. And many of our community members are young and not your
Mhm.
typical aged lung cancer patient. And it is hard to find people you can connect with and the support you need as a younger person going through cancer versus someone who's older. So I can
Yeah.
definitely relate to that for sure. So, for those in our community that are wondering about Twist Out Cancer, now that we kind of know how it evolved, what are some of the ways that you have or programming you have to help young people or people of all ages really with cancer?
Yeah. So we really everything that we do is arts focused. So we have a number of art therapists that are on staff with us and we run what are called twist shops, which are art therapy based workshops. They're 60 to 90 minutes long, can be done online in a hybrid setting and also in person. We work with a lot of hospitals and develop partnerships with institutions that may not have art therapists that are on staff and we come in and we'll run those programs. What's nice about doing that with the hospitals is that we often will get people that will come back and repeat, and it helps to build that community. But it also happens in the online space too. So, there's a lot of people, myself included, like I dread going back into the hospital setting. And, unless you're going there for appointments or for what you need in terms of chemo, you may not want to be going back there for art therapy. And so the virtual or the hybrid option is a really nice way to be able to participate. We run 1 to 2 completely free virtual programs where we often will partner with another organization and We offer those programs for anyone anywhere in the world that they can participate. We usually will give out what the prompt is. We'll have suggested materials, and they're usually materials that you have in your house already. And it's a great way to unwind and to really look after yourself and also to connect with others that get it, that are in a similar spot to you. We have people that are in the throes of treatment, that are years out of treatment, that are caregivers, that are previvors. We invite anyone that's been touched by cancer to show up and participate in that. So that's one area of programming. And then the other area that's, been around the longest is our Brushes with Cancer program. And that program matches artists with people that are been touched by cancer. And it's a 6-month program where the artist and we call them inspirations. So the person touched by cancer, they connect over a period of 6 months. They get to know each other. Of course, the inspiration will share their experience with cancer, but it goes way beyond that. I mean, there's friendships that develop and connections that are beyond the cancer story. And the artist then is charged with creating a work of art that's reflective of that person's journey. And then at the end of the program, the art is exhibited, and we have celebratory events and exhibitions that really honor those stories and honor the participants, bring community together. And that's been something that we've done really all over the world now in many different cities. And it's been just a real outpouring of love and support and resilience, really. I mean, we don't try and sugarcoat cancer. Cancer is really hard and can be really awful and heartbreaking. But there's also some really beautiful stories that can come from really dark places. And we try and find ways to highlight that and to honor it and to celebrate it and to really spend time with each other and also educating the public about what's going on. So that program we do twice a year, open to the public. Um, and then and that typically runs in Chicago and also in Philadelphia. Then we also do partner programs where we'll work with another institution to run that program. So, an example of that is the Arsh Performing Arts Center in Miami. They have a program. This is our third year working with them, where they have a great, vibrant art community that's already there. And we have access to a lot of people that have been touched by cancer, and we match up that program, but it is open to the public. People can come and see the artwork on display and come to the reception. We work with all different types of groups, you name it, educational institutions, for-profit institutions, other small nonprofits, to just bring that program, to as many people as we can. So we've been doing that now since 2013. It's been a while, 12 years. And we've impacted a lot of people and have had thousands of works of art created for people touched by cancer.
That's pretty amazing. I was first introduced to the idea of Twist Out Cancer at a meeting in Chicago during ASCO, and I was just amazed from the beginning. So I came back and told Bianca, my coworker, cohort, and things. I was like, "We've got to get in touch with these people. They are doing something really
Aw.
special." So a little sneak peek for our people watching our community is that we are going to be doing a twist shop with you guys in
There you go.
February. So,
Good.
I'm really excited about it. So maybe if you could just explain to people kind of how they would go about finding the twist shop, and if they want to do
Mhm.
one prior to that, just
Yeah.
how do they register? Kind of what are the mechanics of that part of the program?
Yes, so easy. So you're going to go to twistoutcancer.org. If it's not on our homepage, you'll go to events. It's at the top tab of on the website. And there's a calendar. And on the calendar, you can actually sign up to register for any of the twist shops that are going on. You can also get on our newsletter, and we're constantly making announcements about new partnerships and new programs that are coming up. And they're happening. I mean, we're running them almost weekly with different partners. And then we have those two virtual programs that we run every month, and they're on a rolling basis. So you can just register online. It's super easy, and it's really a beautiful community, and it can really range in terms of size. Sometimes there's 5 people that are participating. Sometimes we have 50 people. It really depends. And you know, we meet people where they're at too in the virtual space. Sometimes people want to be in their pajamas and they don't want to be on camera, even though we prefer if people are on camera because we want to look at them and see them. But you can still be participating even if you're not, forward facing like that. And sometimes we have some of the most beautiful feedback that happens at the end. Like people are quiet and they're taking it all in. And then all of a sudden, they have this big revelation at the end, and it can be really impactful. But I think that it's so important that if you've been touched by this disease that you see that there's other people like you know, that have experienced it. And, there's something about using our hands, and you do not need to be an artist. I want to emphasize that. Like, I am admittedly a awful artist. I have a huge appreciation for the arts, but that I'm not an artist. There's something about using your hands and kind of going through the motions and listening to the prompts and thinking about what the different topics are that are being presented. And it allows you to connect with people in a much deeper way. I think sometimes the way that I think about it is sometimes like, when you're at a dinner party or there's something about like having food and drink around that can put people at ease, right? But if you're just having to have a conversation straight up about something intense, it's much harder, right? So I think through that process of using your hands, it can be very disarming and allows us to really connect in a more deep way.
So that was what I was gonna ask, is if there is, I know you said that there's an art therapist that runs it, and it sounds like there's some dialogue back and forth, and you
Mhm.
participate as much or as little as you want in that piece of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. And then, so for our Young Lung Cancer Initiative group, we will be, like I said, working with Twist Out Cancer in February for a twist shop, which is very exciting. And we'll give you some more information about that as it gets closer. But we also just wanted to make sure that you all were aware that Twist Out Cancer is out there and that they have things going on even before then, and that our patients can be involved in, and caregivers prior to that date. Because like I said, you said December is holidays are kind of hard, and sometimes you need a little bit of grounding. I know there's
Yes.
a lot of questions that revolve around the Brushes with Cancer program, like being paired as an inspiration. And maybe, I know you've said it's twice a year. Could you kind of explain the process of selecting those artists and selecting the inspirations, and kind of how people would get involved in that program as well?
It's honestly like the most favorite part of my job is going through the applications and making the matches. So we have two surveys. One survey is for artists and one is for the inspirations. And we're trying to get background information about their stories, why they're interested in the program, how they came to it. Most of our artists have had an experience with cancer or have watched someone that they love go through it, whether they're a survivor or not. But there's usually a very deep connection to cancer. It's not a requirement, but if it's not cancer, then it's another health issue, like an understanding of what that patient experience is like. And for the inspirations, we often will get referrals from other organizations and organizations like yourself, which helps. It's helpful to know that there's someone that's referring or an individual that's been through the program that will make the referral. But we also have like personality scoring that goes into it where we really want to look at like, are you introverted or extroverted? What does your support system look like? What about your cancer experience do you want other people to know? And it starts to become quite clear to us who we think is going to fit best with who we intentionally make unexpected intersections happen. So I'm not necessarily going to just match people up that are in the Florida area because they're local, even though that is nice to be able to have that experience and meet in person. But it we saw during COVID that these connections can become so deep and meaningful, even if it's just in the virtual space. So we don't want geography to be the only deciding factor in terms of how we match people. It can play a role, but it's not the only thing. We take a look at background and interests and family structure. And even just like we ask certain questions, particularly of the inspirations that give us a good sense of like how they're looking at their experience and how are they talking about it. And the scoring, the actual psychological and clinical aspect of the application really does help us create, it gives us insights into what makes that person tick and how do they show up in the world? And then we get to make those matches. The matches are then given a mentor that checks in with them if needed, if they need an additional person to bounce ideas off of or need additional support for whatever reason. And then as a part of the program, they also have access to what we call peer-to-peer sessions where the inspirations will be led by a clinical social worker to have a group where they're going to be able to talk about what their experiences are like. And the artists have their own peer-to-peer sessions where the artists can think about like some of them might be stuck or they're thinking too much about is my inspiration going to like the art as opposed to actually telling that person's story. And so having, that community within the community, I think can be really beneficial. And then they also have access to twist shops too, which, we think it's important for inspirations to get involved in art therapy and artists to get involved in art therapy too. so that by the end, there's this sort of better understanding of each other's perspectives. So that when you get to the event and that reveal happens, you're seeing your story translated through someone else's eyes. And then you, as an inspiration, have an understanding of what it took for that person to create and articulate your story. And that's really the goal, right? Is to take yourself out of your own experience and see it from a different perspective. And that's the magic of brushes. It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I The artwork I saw this summer was just unbelievable, and I thought when I walked in, it was just artwork being displayed at this event I was at, and then I started looking and I was like, "No, these are stories," and it was beautiful.
Mm.
Some of the people in the group know that I'm actually one of the inspirations for the winter session, and I've loved getting to know my artist, and I can see where you said these friendships develop and these meaningful relationships, and it's just another support in your journey. So I'm super excited about everything that has to do with Twist Out Cancer and Brushes with Cancer and our community to get involved because being that all of us are under 50 and it's not a type of cancer that everybody our age is dealing with and it does have a stigma, so sometimes people are afraid to talk about it, and then we're all raising kids or finishing school or getting married or you know any and all things you do in your 20s, 30s, 40s. So I think this will be a great addition to resources for our patients, and I really appreciate the time you spent with me today. And I'm really excited for our twist shop that we do with you guys. Like I said, in February, I'm going to see if I can't rally some people to do some others. Sometimes, they just need a little bit of somebody else
Hmm.
going, then I'll go. So we'll
Yeah.
be sure to post that in our group, in our private group. And we'll include your website, all the good things that we need to in order for people to get where they need to be to find you guys. I don't know if there's any last thing you want to share or not, but we are very thankful for that.
I was just going to share, for me personally, I mean, my husband is a lung cancer surgeon. And so this group of people has a very special place in my heart because this is who he treats every day. And we've been so grateful and lucky to be able to get a lot of his patients involved in the work. And so I would just say for those of you that are thinking about it, I can assure you that you will not be the only lung cancer patient in the room. And, he has a lot of young people that he has treated, and there is a lot to be hopeful about. And so for me, I just personally, I think this is a very special group. And I really applaud you,
Good.
Leah, for the work that you're doing. It is so important and so
Thank
important to
you.
destigmatize, what people think about when they think about lung cancer. It is
Yes.
not just a disease that you get from smoking cigarettes. That is just not the case. And you're showing the different sides to it. And I really applaud you for that.
Well, thank you very much. And I didn't know that that's what your husband did. And that is very important to us. We love the doctors that choose to maybe work with some of the hardest, saddest situations. Lung cancer is a hard one. And, it's important that we have good quality care. So kudos to your husband too. So just another way we're connected, which is wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for being here today. And we look forward to getting to know you better and your organization better. And our patients will be, I think, so excited to learn about this.
Good. Good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
You're very welcome.